That's right.
All right, so one of the big things we talked about when we first started with this station is that one of our main missions is helping out local charities, is helping out the community, doing what we can to give back, because we have the outlet to do that.
And we've got a special focus on charities and organizations that affect the community that we live in. That's the most important. I mean, what's the saying? You think globally, you act locally, and we live that here on the Morning Madhouse. So the first and foremost people we're going to help out are people who help out right here in the Shreveport, Bossier City area.
And we've been talking about how we're new to the area once again, and so we're trying to reach out and find these local charities, the ones that need the help, the ones that need the attention, the ones that need our help spreading the word about them. And Casey
we found one.
Reached out.
Yeah.
She's from Pay It Forward Networking, and she's exactly the type of charity that we're looking for. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, let's talk about how you became a part of this charity. You formed this charity, right?
Yes. Right out of college, one of my first jobs was working for Muscular Dystrophy Association, and I just fell in love with the kids there and the work, and one little boy in particular, BJ Sparks, just became like my little brother. He was at my wedding. He, long after I left MDA, I remained close to his family, and he's a huge sports fan. And I found out 3 years ago, this was years after leaving MDA, I was working in pharmaceutical sales, and I found out that BJ had never been to Tiger Stadium, which if you're in Louisiana, that's just not okay if you're an LSU fan. So, but unfortunately this season had already began, and finding wheelchair accessible tickets was impossible. So I just started reaching out to pretty much anyone that I had ever met. I was emailing, Facebooking, calling, texting, and within a few hours I had him tickets in a suite to 2 LSU games, pre-game sideline passes, and tickets to a New Orleans Saints game. And that night, talking with his mom, she was just overcome with gratitude, and she said, I wish there was a way to do this for other kids with disabilities that, without red tape, just people, little stuff, not big Disney trips, but just little things. And I said, well, surely there's something out there, we just don't know about it. And I started looking. Well, I realized there wasn't anything out there, so I decided, well, we'll make one. And so I reached out to people that I had worked with at MDA and good friends of mine, and then also Michael Woods, who gave the first tickets to the LSU game for BJ. And I said, hey, I'm going to form a charity. Do y'all want to jump on board? And surprisingly, no one said I was crazy, and they all said yes. And the initial goal was to have 500 members of this network and grant, a few wishes a year for some kids. Well, God had other plans. By the night I hit submit at 10 p.m. on September 16th for the Facebook page, and by the next morning I had over 600 members of the network already, and now here we are with close to 20,000 members just 3 years later. So
that's awesome. People like you, and people like this charity are what really makes this world a better place. When you have kids that are going through rough times and they're having to deal with hospitals and surgeries and things that kids should not have to deal with all the time, it's really nice, like you said, the small things that just showing that there's people out there that love them,
and
people
what
out
can
there
be
that
so
care.
small to you or I can mean the world to this child and their family.
Well, I mean, you got to think these kids are going through this giant, this medical situation, this gauntlet of, different doctors and different equipment that they're having to deal with, different words that they've never heard before. I mean, think about a child in that situation. Their vocabulary is huge because it has to be. They've learned all of these diseases, all of these treatments and everything. And so, man, a little bit of normal life goes a long way. Going to the football game, being able to go see a movie or whatever, wish we're going to be able to grant for these kids is a huge moment for them, even though it's something that maybe we take for granted.
Well, and the financial burden on these families of the costs after insurance and the things that they have to change with their home, or if the child's in a wheelchair, making everything wheelchair accessible. There's not a lot of money left over for the fun stuff, regardless of how successful the parents may be. And so that's where we can step in, where if they want to party at Chuck E. Cheese, can make that happen.
And who
Or,
doesn't?
you know,
That's just a fun
exactly,
place.
Exactly.
I love
it.
As you were saying earlier, this is a legit charity where no one's making money off of this, including yourself.
I mean, you don't even make money off of this at all.
No, we have no paid staff as of right now. We are completely volunteer ran, so all of the money that Pay It Forward raises, the gifts go directly to the child that they're specified for. Any donations that we get through our fundraiser or privately is used to grant wishes that aren't fully granted on the network, and then also for just administrative as far as copies and website and things like that, shipping of items, because we are no longer just Louisiana, we're helping kids all over the country, and so the shipping of the items, we don't want our members to have to pay, you know, a lot to ship, and so the foundation covers that. So all 100% of the proceeds go back to help grant. Got a wish for a little girl named Lexi Gordon here in Shreveport, and she had a very rare disease, Tay-Sachs disease, and she was 3 years old, and well, almost 3 years old, and she was nonverbal, but she always lit up when she heard the song Blue Skies by the artist J. May in New York. And her parents' wish was just that she would not be forgotten when she passed, and that awareness could be raised for this rare disease. So, you know, we said, well, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can get an autographed CD. Well, again, power of networking. Within 24 hours, we had both mayors of Shreveport-Bossier proclaiming Lexi Gordon Day, and we had J. May booked on a flight from New York to come sing to Lexi at her bedside. And, you know, and then I'm like, well, they want to make sure there's awareness raised for this disease and her memory, you know, always honor her memory. So we decided to do the Pay It Forward networking walk, run, roll in memory of Lexi Gordon. And she did pass away, unfortunately, a few months later, but she truly changed all of our lives with meeting her. And so our walk every year is done in memory of Lexi, and it's held at the boardwalk. If you're not a runner, that's okay. If you're not a walker, that's okay. And it's basically just a fun event. We have pit stops along the way of Disney princesses, superheroes, face painting, crafts, just lots of fun for the kids. And then the parents get the opportunity to meet these parents of the wish recipients that they may have helped or that they're helping by participating in the walk, and then also showing their kids, like, these kids are just like you, like they are facing adversities, but you know what, they like football, they like face painting, they like all the same things, and then it gives these kids that, some of which, you know, they have to be homeschooled and they're not getting to interact with kids, so it brings everyone together. And then the plus sides, we've been really fortunate with sponsors to where we don't have to charge our wish recipients to attend, or their families, for t-shirts, so we cover their hotel stay if they're from out of town. And you know, just sponsors have been wonderful, and the community participating, and then the money raised will go to grant more wishes.
That's amazing. I'm tearing up over here. Pay It Forward Networking, payitforwardnetworking.com. That's where you can find out more information. Thanks for coming in, and we'll be talking to you again soon.
Thank you.